Hello and welcome to another very special edition of Horror Hangout, where film fans get together to talk about the best and worst the horror genre has to offer. I'm here with your friend and mine, Radi Nikolov. Radi, how you doing, sir?
Very good, very good. So pleased to be on the podcast again.
Oh, nice to have you, and nice to see you're smiling. You're looking well rested because we're speaking to you just days after Screams by the Sea 2026 opened and closed its doors for another year of South Coast horror adjacent entertainment. How was it? I'm so sorry we couldn't join you in person this year.
No, you guys were missed. Like people were asking about you. It's like, where did you guys? Where did they? I was like, sadly, the schedules couldn't make it happen. But no, this year was absolutely spectacular. We did something really exciting that it's very scary when you're a young festival. We tried to expand, so we expanded in like three different ways. We expanded in days, so we did 2 days this year for the first time. We expanded in venues, so we did three different venues, and we also expanded in activities. So we had not just movies, not just vendors, but we also had live events. We had a cabaret. We've got a whole another industry hub where people can like network and listen to talk. So it was very very scary, but like very successful, which is absolutely spectacular. I'm like so happy. It's ridiculous.
We you love to see it, don't you? These things expanding, and I really love what Screams by the Sea does with touching on the things beyond just the movies, right? And going into those other elements. I loved the talks that you guys had last year. We had a guy walking around as a sort of an undersea creature of the undead walking around there. But I want to talk about a little bit, not just the event. We met you back end of last year when we talked when you did some more of your screenings in these sort of landmark venues as well. And it seems that's what you're expanding to with the cabaret as well here. How is that element going? How are the audience taking it? Because we know a festival crowd love a party after the films have run, right?
100%. And I think that was a really really big key for me was like I've been to so many festivals where it's like, okay, so festival opens, yay, great, we watch the movie, and then kind of sort of everybody kind of sort of like deflates and disperses in small little groups, and nobody knows exactly where to go and what to do. And I was like, I'll give you a beacon. The beacon is the cabaret, and if you are there, you're in the crowd, you're in the group, you're in the gang, we're all friends here. Do you know what I mean? Like we're all in here. And once when the show is done, everybody can sort of like grab another drink, and like it gives us this like centerpiece that we can sort of all get together. And the cabaret was absolutely spectacular. It was bizarre and strange. We teamed up with Steamship Circus. They produced the cabaret and they put all of the acts on. We did some introductions with our friends in the industry so that we can theme it around horror. And oh my God, did they deliver! The acts were spectacular. The host was Monsilier. She's brilliant. She does a bunch of different acts. I was absolutely stonking. I'm so excited, and I'm waiting to hear what people's reactions were to the cabaret. But everything that we've heard so far, everybody seems to love it, which I'm like, maybe we do it more of that.
Yeah, that sounds one, and I think that's a great thing about like any type of event like this, especially one where it involves travel, because we know those folks in London have had it too good for too long. London is London, everyone goes there anyway. But it's so nice, I think, when you're looking, particularly for a location like yours, which is people choose to go there. People go to your neck of the woods for their holidays, for a nice weekend away. Particularly when you get the nice weather, as we're beginning to pick up now over here in the UK. I don't know, you're probably doing slightly better in the south than I'm up here in Scotland, but like it's starting to warm up a little. We're starting to get the sun coming out. What a great way to make a weekend trip of it. And I think particularly if you're in a family where maybe you're the big horror fan, but your partner maybe just isn't, or you're going with your kids. You live in a place that's got something for everyone, and you can expand out on there as well. Maybe someone who might like to come to your event would come and see a horror movie, but their partner would just like to come to the evening event. It's a bit more accessible, right, for wider audiences.
Precisely, exactly. And we've already heard a couple of comments. People that did exactly that. It's like they brought the family. It's like, oh, we're going down to Bournemouth. We're going to see a bunch of movies. Let's make a day out of it. Let's walk down the beach and then let's catch the evening movie and stuff like that. So we're already seeing that happen. And like the best thing about Bournemouth is we're just under 2 hours away from London. So it is a for me, I lived in Texas for a while. So 2 hour drive is that's nothing for me. It's like, yeah, sure, yeah, Austin, Texas, here I come. It's fine. So a commute of 2 hours, I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely fine. And it seems that people resonate with that as well. Because like a lot of people travel down, came watched a bunch of movies, and they're like, I now have to zip back to London. I'm like, thanks so much for the good times. Like, no, no, come back again.
Yeah. And I guess that's what makes it nice and flexible as well. By going over those 2 days, people can choose, hey, this is the movie that I really want to catch and see. You can make it down for that. And if it's not your entire weekend done, if you do want to come in for one, that's something you can do.
100%.
And how do
100%.
I know this could always evolve year on year, but how are you guys looking at the tickets? Do you do day tickets, entire weekend tickets, or do you do individual films, or where are we and where are we maybe going? If you can say,
Yeah.
maybe you haven't decided.
Well, so it's something that, oh my God, it's a conversation that we always have every year. Is like, how do we ticket this? I am always on the side of the customers, and I get confused very easy. And like, if I can sell one thing and that's it, and you buy that one thing and you get access to everything, it's which is basically the full festival pass. But of course, we would like to also make sure that we have more ways of accessibility for perhaps maybe somebody doesn't want to watch a gruesome splatter movie at 9 o'clock in the morning, but they would love to go and see like a spine-tingling thriller in the evening. Do you know what I mean? Like, so we've decided to also sell individual tickets. So at the moment, the way the tickets work is you buy a festival pass that gives you access to everything. So simple, easy, one price, one thing. And then for the people that don't want to do the whole thing or they don't want to commit, we also have single tickets. They're very limited because like each movie has their own single tickets. But going forward and sort of looking into all these different events and like expanding more, and like I want to add more screenings. I want to have more screenings, but we're still growing, we're still expanding, and I'm very conscious of making sure that we keep enough gas to sustainably do this year on year. So I want to have another screen. I want to have another screen. So when we introduce another screen, how are we going to ticket all this? Are we going to sell different tickets for different places? Is it going to be like a flagship venue, and then it's going to be a more of an indie underground screening somewhere else in Bournemouth? I'm not 100% sure, but it's something that we constantly think about, and it's a big. When you start thinking about it, ticketing is very very big. Like a bugbear. It puts your mind and like, how do we do this
It's what
exactly?
keeps you awake at night, right? It's not the scary movies, it's the real
Yeah,
world horror of admin.
precisely.
Yeah. But I mean, you mentioned the venue and the landmark venue in particular. For those who haven't been, like Dancehall Southwest, what a lovely place.
Mm.
The fact that you can step outside, the beach is right there, you can see the sea, you can walk over onto the beach there. You've got your food vendors because it's a heavily trafficked tourist area. You're along that seafront. What a place to stage an event. And shout out to the team. I'm sure you had similarly lovely people this year. What a lovely bunch of people that the staffing of the facility itself.
100%. Well, yeah. So every year we return back to Pavilion Dance South West. So absolutely spectacular venue. Not many people know locally that it's also a cinema, or at least it has the capabilities of being a cinema. It's a spectacular venue, massive screen, great sound surround, and literally, as you say, we opened the doors on a Friday. I was like, "Is this sand in here?" People, it literally is. It's like right on the beach. It's
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, again, not to pick on London, but it's certainly more scenic. I can breathe the air a lot more heartily than I can when I'm in the center of Leicester Square. And there was no video screen with Donald Trump on it either, so great. What a
There we go.
time. Of course, the main event. We've talked about some of these that have been doing the festival circuit. I know, Reddy, that's where you get lots of your inspiration for what you want to bring in to the festival. But if we may, let's have a look at this lineup and talk about some of the films that we get to make. I'm gonna have to channel Ben as well as he is off otherwise engaged, but I'm gonna get your take on some of these movies. I'd love to know what inspired you to choose them and what you saw from the reaction on the day as well. So assuming that the page I'm looking at here is in chronological order, we'll test this, test your memory as much as anything else. I understand that Friday night kicked off with J horror Mag Mag.
100% correct.
So your choice is how did this get onto your radar, and tell me what it was before and what it was afterwards, what people's
Oh, that's
reaction
up.
to it.
Do you know? I don't remember how that came to my radar. So I do a lot. I do a lot of scouting. I go to a lot of events. I go to a lot of festivals. I spend unhealthy amount of time on Instagram, looking at pages, looking at the coverage, and finding people. And I came across this movie, and I looked up the director, Urian Retriever, and that is her directorial debut, and she is epic. Like this woman is, she's a renowned comedian, a rapper, a writer, and now a filmmaker. She's absolutely spectacular. So I was like, oh my god, this is brilliant. We gotta check this out. So I got in touch with Third Window Down, who are the people that have the movie in the UK, and we got together chatting. And I was like, "This looks amazing. Send over a screener. We would love to check it out." And I introduced it to the team, and we were all in awe of the madness, of the insanity, of the absolute just bonkers ideas of this movie, and the fact that the way it sort of like tightened tension and then released it with just spectacular comedy. We were like, this is so us. It's stupid. Like we love a good of a ridiculous bloodbath comedy mixed with like seriousness towards the end. It's absolutely spectacular. So I was like, oh, this is great. Let's have that on. This is absolutely brilliant. And that actually inspired a lot of our opening act, which was very much about like weirdness and celebration of weirdness and like having a safe space to be weird and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, my reaction to Mag Mag, I caught it late last year. Um, I mean, enough time has passed already. I'm willing to take what I wrote in pencil and go over it in ink now. It's maybe my favorite modern J horror. It is so good, so well realized. Urian Retriever is such a phenomenal talent in that what she's created here is something which is genuinely funny. Not just, oh, that's a bit strange and it's a bit funny because it's off kilter or it's surprised me in the way that it's delivered something. Genuinely and deliberately funny. But at other points as well, you go from this is a comedy movie. I'm watching a horror comedy to this is pretty scary. This is quite intense with its visuals and its delivery and the pacing of it as well. If there's any ever comment I have for a J horror movies that they have a certain pace to them sometimes.
Yeah.
They're usually quite heavily backloaded. There's usually a slow build up of this tension, but the pacing in Mag Mag is phenomenal. Like it's
Yeah, very,
really,
very,
really
very sort of
punchy.
reminiscent to like more mainstream Western media.
Yeah.
Kind of sort of like it goes rat-a-tat boom, but it, like in a best possible way without compromising any of its tone, which is really, really good. And the balance of the tone is very, very good. As you say, it opens really, really scary, goes a little what's going on, a bit weird, and then it's funny until it gets, oh, this is like I'm afraid for everybody. what's
Yeah.
what's happening? And then it goes like just bonkers, like what am I, what, you're just in awe, you're like, this is great.
And I don't want to spoil the story here. There is
Yeah.
a very much of a take that is leans into the classics like The Ring with I've discovered the origin of this and I'm going to go to this out of the way place to discover what the origin is. And then there is such a wonderful reveal when our main character like knocks on the door to find out and the person that she meets I was rolling. It was so good. So, so good. Yeah. Mag Mag, a big winner for me. You then moved on to Saturday morning with a film we think we saw at Cross Festival sort of last summer, Human, Matt Stewart's. Tell me how Human, like, when did you
I
see this and when you knew it had to be part of your programming?
Yeah, I was slightly hungover one morning at another film festival, and that started playing in front of me, and I'm like, what's happening? This movie, for the people that have not seen it, so this is a very divisive movie, right? And Matt Stewart is the director. We've now had a Q&A with them. He says that he knows that this is a divisive movie. He knows that it splits audiences in half. And I saw it and I'm like, oh, I'm firmly in the camp of like, this is brilliant, this is genius, this is ridiculous. because the way it opens, and again, I don't want to spoil the experience, right? Because the first 15 minutes are so ridiculously unusual. It's for the first 15 minutes, it's a silent film. It's I'm like, what is going on? Like, there's no dialogue. This is really, really good. And I sat there, I was like, this is either the most ballsy opening or the most like I'm gonna about to witness somebody crash and burn so well that I can feel the heat in my seat in the cinema. And I genuinely think it was absolutely brilliant, and I really, really enjoyed it. And it was really also again sort of following the theme of Magmac, wild. Halfway through the film, there's like solid 10 minutes of just pure insanity for a very specific like splatter kind of audience group that I'm like, oh, there are definitely going to be people in Screams by the Sea's audience that would just enjoy this so much. So yeah, I was like, Matt, we got, can we see the screener? I'll bring it to our people, and yeah, let's have a go at it.
Nice. And then we've met Matt, we've had conversations with him in the past. I think at some point we'll have to get our schedules lined and he's going to join us for an episode to discuss a film as well. But I think my real big takeaways from Human are how much of the story is carried by our lead actor. She's on screen for by and large solo for a large part of the movie. Also, really sharp dialogue choices. I think it goes a long way when you have someone who is a younger character than me. I say this is a 43-year-old man seeing a younger character with what is authentic dialogue written for a character of their age. You can feel it when someone in their 50s wrote dialogue for a 20-year-old for sure. Like, without any type of consultancy, people can write, I know, but it feels really authentic, and the discussions and the use of sort of the screen mechanics as well.
Yes.
Really, really well put together. And again, I can't say this enough to see this kind of fidelity and that kind of over the overlay, the way these things are represented in an independent movie where you are watching every single penny is an incredible achievement. Yeah, congrats to Matt. Nice to see it get another outing on the festival circuit. One, I'm sure that Ben is regretful for not being able to join us to talk about live because our old mate Ben loves a documentary, and you pulled an absolute gem for this one. Alien on Stage was Saturday lunchtime. Danielle Kummer and Lucy Harvey telling the story of the production of Alien as it's a bus company, right? It's a
It's an
bus
Amazon group
transport employees.
they're all mostly bus drivers, and they just stage these Amdram plays every once in a while. And one year they instead of doing a panto, they decided to do Alien on stage. On top of all that, that movie was shot down here. That was shot in Poole, literally like moments away from where the festival is.
Yeah, an incredible story as well of how these folks put it together locally, and then a bit like people traveling over to see you for the day, right, Radi? Someone came over, they from London, they watched it. Before you know it, they're crowdfunding this appearing on stage at the Leicester Square Theatre in London. And what a lovely story about genuine people who they're not your actor lovies, are they? These are people with a real job that they do every day, and then are doing this
Yep.
because they love it.
It was all of the passion that went into putting the stage play. All of these actors, the directors of the stage play, the stage play is the core of this movie, and all of these people that put that on. It's the costumes, the set design, the props, the creature designs. They built the creature, they built the xenomorph on like zero budget and a bunch of styrofoam. It was absolutely brilliant. I was like, guys, this is absolutely brilliant and epic. And also, the movie itself has something that is a little bit of a core to what Screams by the Sea is, in a sense of like halfway through the movie, they're like, "So, do you like horror films?" And like 80%, 90% of the people involved with the stage play don't like horror, don't watch really horror, they're not much into horror stuff, and yet they're giving it a go. They're trying their best and putting all of their energy, and and they made something that resonated with people that they are proud of. And I'm like, this is it. It's like horror is a genre that can you, even if you're not a fan of it, you can find something that resonates with you in it.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was wonderful for exactly those same reasons. But I also, I mean, question for you actually, Raddy. As someone who does all the herding cats of trying to put together an event, did you feel a kinship with that director, asking them to make sure they were learn they could go off book and they could do all these other things? Did you feel a certain sympathy for him as you could see his head in his
Oh,
hands?
100%. And yeah, as also as an indie director, I'm like, we're all doing this on a shoestring and a bit of luck. And come on, like, do you have your script? No, that's okay. Here, have mine. It's
Yeah.
okay. Let's go.
Who's brought their costume? Not me.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And what I really liked about it, just to finish, is obviously we talk about we see so much of the production and everything, and then what you get treated to kind of in like the back third of the documentary is we just see them performing on stage, like the live record of them doing their stage performance in London. It's not end to end the entire play. So if they're ever convinced to do another tour around the country, then I'm sure you could see it and it wouldn't be spoiled. But you get to see a lot of key scenes that they've been discussing live and in person. So if it isn't something you're ever able to see, you've kind of got that record of it once and for all. And as someone who has seen a musical panto adaptation of Dracula in a very small theatre above a church in a small village near me called Cymru, where genuinely, I think Karen and I, after we saw it advertised and we went to see this pantomime of Dracula, we surprised everyone there. I think we were the only people there that didn't know a member of the cast. They were like, "Who are these strange people?" And they had like the interval was in the canteen of this church, and there were tea and biscuits, and there was literally people saying, "So where have you guys come from?" It's like, "Oh no, do you think I'm a talent scout from London? I'm not. I just saw this advertised on your website and I've come." But it was so nice, and I had that same wonderful energy. Next up. Saturday afternoon, we talked what is marketed as wonderfully a Polish giallo movie, Dead by Dawn. Really, really interesting choice by David Tyrone there. Um, how did this one reach your agenda? Because it has such a wonderful aesthetic about it, and congratulations on a Polish movie. They get overlooked and they do wonderful stuff.
100%, 100%. I am a massive fan of a film festival in Poland called Splat. Whoever doesn't know Splat, I think should put it on the radar. They do a phenomenal job of putting some spectacular things, and I'm pretty sure I saw that open there last year, and I was like, oh, I need to get in touch with the people. This looks really, really cool. And thankfully, we managed to get a screener. And we looked at it, and we were correct. It was absolutely spectacular. And again, I 100% is if we don't get enough chance to experience Polish and Eastern and Central European horror, and I think there is a very lovely like connection with the folk with every horror that comes out of these areas, and this one as well, kind of sort of like, even though it's not about that, it has elements of the respect of where horror kind of always comes from, which is always a cautionary tale. Always it comes from the folklore of whatever culture you're from. And this one was absolutely brilliant as well. And again, psychedelic and wild experience
Yeah.
towards the last third of the film. Yes.
Yeah, it's psychedelic. It has some, again, I don't need to say for an indie movie, but it has like some pretty brilliant gore work in here as well. The slasher kills are brutal. It's a bizarre mask. It has some really, really off the wall, mad things going on at certain portions of the movie. It has those dreamlike qualities of a giallo movie, and as you say, cannot agree more that we need to see more sort of Eastern European cinema breaking through to what we see in English language markets. I've seen things the last couple of years, like All My Friends Are Dead, No One Sleeps in the Wood Tonight, that and the sequel, both incredible. And ready off pod, we're gonna have to catch up about your travel plans for Splat. Is it in Warsaw? or
It
is
is
it?
in Warsaw. Yes, yes, yeah,
Oh,
absolutely brilliant. I think it's September. I think it's happening. I need to update my new calendar. I haven't had a chance, but
oh.
yes, I think yeah, it's absolutely brilliant.
Always love an excuse for a Poland trip. A lifetime ago, we lived there for a year or so, and it is one of my favorite places to still visit. So that seems like a good excuse to time a journey back. I have to go and see if we can catch some movies together over there.
Oh yeah, we gotta.
Next up, I know we have shorts that maybe we'll look at together, but let's talk about the 7 p.m. Your prime time slot on Saturday. You had a film that we've both spoken about. We've There's an interview on our feed already with Chad McClellan, the director, The Other People. Yeah,
The other people. Wow. Do you know, it's this is one of those films that I like they have Chad and their team have such a hard job now. Like, how do you market this? How do you tell people what this movie is about? Because you can't spoil the reveal and you can't spoil the experience of the movie. But that said, it's loosely based on some things that happen in America about kind of sort of like people living in the shadows and kind of sort of like strange things happening around you. And yeah, I saw it, and I think I saw it around Fright Fest last year,
yeah.
and I was like, I got in touch with the director, and yeah, we saw a screener, and we're like, oh my god, this is 10 out of 10. We've got zero notes. This is terrifying. This gave us nightmares. The whole programming thing. It was one of the last movies that we watched on one weekend, and we all sort of like, I don't want to go home now. This is terrifying. Every creak is now scary.
Yeah, I think you're right. We talked about this just before we hit go on our microphones here. Conceptually, I think this is one of the most terrifyingly plausible horror movies we've got. We'll call another example. You watch Alien, and it's like, Mommy, I don't want to go to bed because what if the xenomorph gets me? Ha ha ha. The xenomorph was invented by H.R. Giger. Don't worry, it's not real. Go to bed. You watch the other people, and maybe these guys aren't real guys, but conceptually, do you really know? Could this happen? Maybe.
Dude, have you seen the videos where people in New York, like in high-rise buildings, are like, why is my bathroom always drafty? And they find out that their bathroom wall where the mirror is, it's a corridor, and it goes into a whole another flat.
Yeah.
I'm
And
like, no, this is horrible.
and living in the UK where you have like terraced houses, and the attics are quite often connected. People could be up and
I've
down
got
those.
in my corridor, underneath the carpet, I swear there is a hatch.
Yeah. Oh, you see? Check everything anywhere, everybody. You can't be too careful. But yeah, what Chad and his team have put together here is a really scary concept of a film. And again, we're not going to do spoilers on. We do spoilers on the regular episodes when we're going through beat by beat, so we can cover a film you've already watched. But for a festival movie like this, ones that we still think you've got an opportunity to go in unspoiled, this is one. This is one to watch out for. Like, I think incredibly frightening. There are some twists that happen midway through the movie which I did not see coming in a million years.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever.
And I gotta say, distributors, get your shit together. Like, this movie needs to get out there. I genuinely, I don't believe why this movie is not as widely popular as it should be. I think this needs to be in every cinema. Everybody should go and watch it. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Everybody that's listening, go find them on Instagram, support them, watch it wherever you can.
Yeah. I mean, I am not head of programming for Odeon. If I was, I'd be doing ready. I'd be
Yeah.
filtering this into one of my Scream Unseen things. This film goes bananas. If you like you say, Chad and his team have an incredibly hard job marketing without spoiling this. If you were a large cinema chain, you could get this into a secret screening, or you could get this into a
Secret screening would be perfect for something like this.
you get something like this in there, you get people in the door, they would market the hell out of it for you. Because people's reaction to this would be in the field of things like Skinnamarink, right? That people see it and
Mhm.
they talk about this thing that stays with them. There would be people mocking up pictures, people having those conversations we just had about like the creaks in your houses afterwards. It would go bananas. It just needs someone to take a chance on it and get it widely distributed so people
Yeah.
can start reacting to it because you will get reactions from this movie for sure. The last but not least thing to talk about is, of course, your short films. I know, Radi, you and I are both big fans of a short film showcase, and you had not one but two this year. Any big standouts? I appreciate you probably can't rattle through the whole one. That would be a test for your memory after a busy weekend. But any real big standouts that you want to call out, or just the magic of short film in general?
Yeah, short films are like really hard, really, really hard. Like some of the storytelling that happens in short films, it's absolutely spectacular. Every year, the quality of short films is just better and better and better and better. And we get so many, and we only have a small amount of slots. But this year was absolutely brilliant. Like the winner of the short films, the complete package. That is an absolutely brilliant movie. Again, no spoilers. It's one of those movies you watch and it's like, where is this going? And when it's sort of like when it hits you, it's like, oh, oh, it like it's really, really, really good. There was a tiny little 90-second short film that we put on called Cosmic Crash. Highly recommended. If you see it in a program, that program is going to be good. It is a claymation from Germany. It is really, really, really good. And we also have a brand new movie that I'm pretty sure they're gonna start going, and you're gonna probably start seeing it more and more into festivals this year. It's called The Tenant, which is it's a fantastic movie, and it's very, very kind of similar to The Other People, but it's in a short form, and it's
Okay.
like it's The Other People in a short form, but different. And it's really, really good. And it was one of those movies that got submitted to us like very, very last minute. And we looked at it and we're like, yeah, this
This is
this
in.
fits so well with everything else we're trying to do. Yeah, we gotta have it.
Wonderful. Well, we touched briefly on the audience choice winners because you're not there. You don't want to take all of the credit and all of the control. You get your audience to vote on the choice awards. You've talked about the short film. Am I correct in saying that the other people won your audience choice for the main films? Did I see your post about that?
Correct. Yes. Yes. Yeah. The Other People won Audience Choice Award for Best Feature. Yes. Correct.
Wonderful. And it's really nice to get those live audience reactions. I see you guys with the voting forms kind of in the last break as well. It's great to be able to get those real life audience reactions from down at the coalface, right? Really where people are seeing it for the first time. Kind of gives us a different perspective over just what we can do after we've watched all these screeners, right?
100%, 100%. And I think it's something that's a bit of a like we like our thing in Screams is audience and community, and giving the community the power to cast their vote. I think is so important for the feel of the festival. And like they're not just spectators; they are in charge there. They have the power to say which one's best. Yeah, it's a great element to have with us.
Incredible. So the questions now I have for you are two final ones. Number one, most importantly, I'm not going to tell you to tell me a week after you've just closed the doors what you're doing next year. We know the principles, bigger, more exciting, more everything. But if people haven't made it this year or last year and they're thinking, my goodness, let me get planning my trip right now. Where do they follow you to keep on top of the news? Social media is not what it used to be, my friends, so they got to find you in the right places.
Yeah. That is correct. So we are online at screamsbythesea.com. They can find everything that they need to know there. We are mostly on Instagram these days, as well as Facebook. That is where we sort of like stay in touch. And once when they land on our Instagram, sort of Screams by the Sea, they can see our link tree, and there we also have our private Discord server where we sort of like all hang out and we recommend movies and review things, and we do the screaming hour every other week of the month. Yeah, Discord is a good place where people can sort of like stay in the loop as well as our mailing list. So we're going to try to do a little more work in our emails this year. So we're going to try to keep people more updated with things and events and what's going on. And of course, we want to do a few more standalone events throughout the year, sort of like keep the oil warm for the next year's festival.
Yeah, I'm really excited by some of those events. If I didn't have the distinct advantage of living about 500 miles away, you couldn't keep me away. Sadly, the travel time does limit me a little, but always really exciting to see what you're doing. Now, finally, Radi, the big question of all. Of course, you've joined us a few times before, so I couldn't just ask you, what film you'd put on for a hangout. So I'm going to ask you to expand your mind and look at what you're doing as a festival director here as well. Obviously, you can't speak to future films, but let's say the good folks at Pavilion Dance South West come to you and say, Raddy, we've just got a bit of national lottery funding. We've got the biggest cinema screen in the world that we've just installed here. And as a regular film festival organizer at our event, we're giving you the keys to put the first debut film on at our hugest, biggest screen in the world we're putting on here. You've got your audience, you've got your Screams by the Sea guys. They're all coming to see what you're going to put on. What are you choosing? One shot, the most phenomenal cinema screen in the world, and your audience that you know. Every film
Oh,
studio is going to play ball. They're going to give you whatever you want. What are you choosing?
oh man, you
Told you, got to
can't
finish the
do
hard
this to
ones.
me. How dare you? Um,
I'll let you have a double feature if you're really stuck.
oh God.
Based on instinct, I won't audit you to this if this actually happens next week. Say, sorry, Reddy, I've got to take your first answer. But what instinctively speaks to you?
Do you know what? There is a double feature. I don't know that I know that, so I would love to show Foreigner from last year's festival
Oh
circuit.
yeah, good choice.
So I would like to show that. And there was, oh God, couple of years ago, was it Saving Grace?
Saving Raging Grace, was it? Yeah,
Raging Grace,
Raging
Raging Grace.
Grace.
Yes, yes. I think that as a double feature, I think there'll be so much rage there. It will be so cathartic. It will be a night that I think we all can sort of get together and be angry, and like we can express all that anger and sort of like go away, sort of feeling rejuvenated and relaxed after we've expressed all that anger in the cinema. I think
Great
these two films
choices as
together,
well.
I think they will do well.
And I always know, Reddy, I can rely on you for a for not the vanilla choice, not the basic choice. There's nothing wrong with someone who've gone, I'd have shown John Carpenter's Halloween, but boring. Come on. Reddy's throwing out a real
We
curveball
always
choice for
have
us
it at
here.
home. It's on the bookshelves. Yeah, come see
It's on
something new.
ITV3 right now. At any time you're listening to this, switch your telly on, it's on. Get something different in you. That sounds great. Brilliant choices. And what sounds like, once again, a brilliant festival. And I know, Reddy, you're always after more feedback. I know you've gone out to the teams as well. If you're listening to this and you went to Screams by the Sea, you haven't done those feedback forms yet, get them in or just get in touch with Raddy and let him know what you'd be excited to see next
Yes,
year.
please. This is the chance. This is the chance to let us know what you want to see more. This is the chance to tell us how the events went. Do we want to do more of those and things like that? From these forums, actually, you said that we now have more short films this year. It was a suggestion in one of those forums. People love a short film showcase. So we read them, we take them on board, and they shape the festival.
Yeah, perfect. Good to know. And it's good to know that you're, with your age and with you looking to grow, it's the perfect time to get feedback and shape what you would like to attend in the future as well. I'm sure there's a space for other comments as well. If you want Raddy to wear a particular hat or anything in future years, you can put that in there. He'll think about it. He's not promising anything though.
Listen, every year I think about what costume I'm wearing.
Yeah. I mean, good sunglasses work last year, and the
Mhm.
color always very good stuff, always on point. Right. Thank you so much, Raddy, for spending a little bit of time with us during what should be your recovery time. I will leave you to go and lie down in the dark for a little bit longer to recharge that social battery. In the meantime, thank you to everyone who listens along, who attends these events, of course. Thanks to our old mate, over at but yeah, if I could remember the name of the Acast, they're the people that host the show. Good on you, lads, and good on to Taj Easton as well for writing our theme music. Join us again next time, why don't you? Bye for now.
Hi guys.